Okay, so let's continue with our piping. The cold water, looks like the cold water is established here for the first and second levels. Let's go to the second level. This is the first level water, second level, that's southwest water. Okay, yeah, so it looks like the cold water is okay. I think I need to call out, because usually when you're doing this type of work, you want to give the contractors some kind of roadmap, right? So you want to, if they're looking at this drawing, you want to let them know that that is because on the first level, that this note 1 is 3/4 inch cold water up and down. So this is in the ceiling. That pipe is in the ceiling, so it goes down to these 3 lavs, and it goes up to these 3 lavs. So it's always a good idea. Let's say text. I'll choose this text with an arrow and say 3/4 inch cold water, right? 3/4 inch cold water down, and just kind of click in this area. Okay, so you want to make sure that that just little pieces of information like that. It looks like this is 2, and those 3 are not hooked up right. So this is probably 3/4 inch down. Oh, that's cold water. 3-inch cold water down. That's not correct. So I think that I need to make a change. What is this? 3/4 inch up and down. So this note is not correct. So it should be, I think I just left off the 4, huh? 3/4 inch cold water down. Okay. So that's that. And I can use the same 3/4 inch cold water down. I'll just copy this, or let me go back. Select, copy. Just move this guy over here. Okay. And we can just kind of move our arrows around and say the same. Okay, so that's 2, and we know that's 2, 3/4 inch down, and that's note P102 of how we set these up. P102, 2 3/4 inch cold water down. Okay, so this is all part of the schedule that we can place on our sheet if we choose to do so. And sheet P102. So if we go to sheet P102, which is this guy, let's see. Yeah, okay. So P102, note number 2, 3/4 inch cold water down. Okay, and I just made that change. That's 2, and 2 is over here. I'm gonna not close these 2 views. Go back to my second level and go to my first level. Make sure that's the second level, and that's okay. But what I need to do is look at this cold water, because it's not set up yet. I think that, let's see, I'm gonna come off, and the cold water is on the right hand side. Let's do this. Copper cold water. I'm gonna bring this out. Oh, that's the hot water. Sorry. The cold water is on the right hand side, which is here. Just gonna bring this out just a little bit and make sure my parameters are okay. Okay. So this pipe is at almost 2'9", and it's higher. No, that's not right. See, that's based off of the reference level here. It's from the floor, so that's 16. So we can change this to say level 2, and it is lower, which makes sense if it's coming from the bottom. So what we can do, we can just kind of we can extend and just make that connection. Okay, let's do the same for the other three, or the other two. Come out, cold water, and we can just kind of connect into our pipe. Let's do this. And bring this, what size is 3/4 inch? That's okay. I mean, just for a connection. Cold water, and I'm gonna leave that there so I can just make a fillet. I'm gonna decrease this to 1/2. Okay, and then just make a modified fillet. And fillet here. Okay, so that should be okay. And we should have our fixture units and all the other information should be calculated out. We have fixture units, we have GPM. Okay, so when we look at this, looks okay. And what we can do at this point, we can go in and look at our 3D view, make sure the cold water is on. Looks like it is. Okay, so I'm going to use the automatic sizing tool that Revit has for us and put the velocity at 7. Because for cold water, you usually want it between 6 and 8 feet per second. So I'm going to choose this pipe, okay, and go to my duct and pipe sizing. My velocity is going to be 7, okay, and I'll say okay to that. Okay, so now when we look at this, it should be 4.5 fixture units, and the velocity is between 6 and 8, which is good. So that's a 1 inch, that's a 1 inch, and that's a 1 inch. Okay, so we'll just leave it like that. And looking at this information, that's 5.83 or 6 feet per second. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to say is instead of it being a 3/4 inch down, it's going to be a 1 inch. Okay, I'm going to change this note to say 1 inch cold water down here. Okay, so you have to be careful because there's also a number 2 here. Let's go back and size this part of the cold water using our automatic sizing tool. Let's see, let's go back around so I can get a good look. And I'll do this and control so I can get all of my piping and use our duct sizing for 7 feet per second. Calculated size only. Okay, so we come here and we see that it is between 6 and 8, and we go out 5, which makes sense because the others are 5.83, and that's probably a 1 inch, and that's a 1 inch. So I'm going to leave it at that, but I need to change this pipe, which is that pipe so that it says 1 inch cold water down. So what Revit does not do with this type of text note is once I update this to, it says 1 inch cold water down, it does not update the two that is identical and it's for the number as we number these. It does not update, so you have to be careful. You have to go in, and let's suppose you're in a large plan, that's a disadvantage of it. So if you're in a large plan and you have, say you have 10 of these, you're probably not going to have that many, So you're not going to have many that's going to say where it was 3/4 inch cold water down and you had to change it to a 1 inch. There's not going to be very many of them. So you just have to be careful and know, your floor plan and make sure you make the changes. So here what I'm going to do is, let's say I had 5 of them. I have to delete all of them. Or I can just update them here, right? Where this is going to say 1 inch. I'll just choose it there. Okay. So all of my 2s, which is on sheet 102, is it? Sheet 102. That's sheet 102. Go back to sheet. I'm going to go down to the sheet because that's going to give me the schedule. These are the schedules, and I'm going to go to the sheet. These are my sheets. Okay. So P102 should say 2, 1 inch, 1 inch cold water down. Okay, so that looks good. Okay. So that's what I wanted to point out today, that you have to update your notes when changes are being made. And of course, that's not what I initially wanted to start out talking about, but yeah, you have to update your notes when you make these changes in this type of, when you're having this type of schedule on your sheet where everything is automated, but you can't have everything, right? So you have to go in and just make some manual changes on your view, as I did here, because this 2 and that 2 is not linked. So you have to make sure that you update your notes. Okay, guys. Well, I hope that helped, and I will talk to you guys later.